There was a time when our attention belonged only to the stars, to the rhythm of the wind, to the quiet pulse of our own breath. Today, it belongs to a screen that hums in your hand, small yet powerful, a device that promises connection but delivers constant rewiring. Your phone is no longer just a tool, it is a mirror, a conduit, a subtle sculptor of your thoughts, habits, and even your soul. Each tap, swipe, and notification quietly reshapes the patterns of your mind, bending attention, influencing desires, and whispering imperceptible nudges into the deepest layers of consciousness. We call it convenience, we call it entertainment, we call it connection. Yet beneath this shiny surface lies a more unsettling truth. Your soul is being recalibrated with every interaction. Your nervous system grows attuned to vibrations and colors, designed not for your growth, but for engagement. Your attention is mined, your energy siphoned, and your inner temple, once quiet and sacred, slowly reorients toward distraction. You may feel in control, but the patterns are already in place, and they shape who you are in ways you rarely perceive. This is not about technology itself. It is about awareness, about recognizing that the glow in your palm is a force, one that teaches, one that tempts, and one that molds. It interrupts presence, fragments reflection, and substitutes real experience with images, notifications, and metrics. Yet even within this, there is a doorway, an opportunity to awaken. To see clearly is to reclaim agency, to observe without surrendering, to navigate modern life without losing the sacredness of your mind. In the following journey, we will explore how this subtle rewiring occurs, uncover the hidden architectures behind it, and illuminate the ways to reclaim the temple of your attention. This is a call to awaken, not to fear, but to recognize, reflect, and reclaim the sacred power within. At the heart of this quiet reshaping lies a simple yet profound truth. Your attention is currency, and your phone is designed to spend it on what benefits forces outside of your consciousness. Every color, every vibration, every notification is calculated to trigger a response, to redirect your energy from presence toward reaction. Modern life has dressed this subtle manipulation as progress, convincing us that engagement equals growth. And yet, growth requires depth, not distraction. Understanding this is the first step toward reclaiming what is innately yours. Another central theme is rhythm, the natural cadence of thought, reflection, and being. Human consciousness is built for cycles, for pauses, for immersion in moments unmeasured by alerts or feeds. The phone interrupts this rhythm, fragmenting perception into microbursts of input. In this interruption, we lose touch with the continuous flow of thought, the quiet spaces where insight emerges. Awareness is not constant scrolling. It is attunement to the undercurrents beneath the surface of daily life, the spaces where our mind can wander without manipulation. Lastly, the notion of energy is crucial. Your attention is not just mental, it is vital, electric, the lifeblood of your creativity, intuition, and presence. When this energy is constantly siphoned into notifications, it diminishes the very force that allows you to dream, to create, to connect authentically. The phone becomes a mirror, not of your desires, but of external design. And the challenge is to recognize the difference, to see where your will ends and the programmed influence begins. By observing these patterns, by understanding attention, rhythm, and energy, we begin to glimpse the deeper architecture of influence. The key is not to reject technology entirely, but to navigate it consciously, to restore sacred space within a world designed to fragment it. The phone is a teacher, but only if we are awake enough to learn its lessons, rather than surrender to its subtle rewiring. The awareness of how your phone rewires your mind is only the beginning. True transformation emerges when understanding meets action, when insight flows into daily practice. Begin by observing your interactions without judgment. Notice how often your thumb moves before your mind decides. Notice the subtle pull of notifications, the way certain apps shape your emotions, and how scrolling often replaces reflection. Awareness alone reframes the power dynamic. You are no longer the passive vessel. You are the conscious navigator of attention. Another step is creating sacred boundaries. Sacred. Just as ancient temples had thresholds marking the shift from mundane to sacred space, your life requires markers that separate distraction from presence. Set periods in which your phone rests untouched, allowing your attention to return to unbroken thought, natural observation, and deep engagement with reality. The stillness may feel uncomfortable at first, but it is within these gaps that clarity grows, creativity blooms, and the soul reclaims its rhythm. Equally important is intentionality in usage. Treat the device as a tool, not a master. Before opening an app, pause to ask, why am I doing this? What energy am I giving? This practice transforms ordinary interactions into conscious acts, where attention is no longer surrendered but directed, and the soul remains intact amidst technology. Lastly, cultivate inner nourishment alongside digital engagement. Journaling, meditation, walking outdoors, or focused creative work counterbalances the fragmented input of the screen. These practices reinforce the natural architecture of your mind, restoring energy, depth, and presence. Over time, this balance allows the phone to serve rather than shape you, to reflect rather than distort, and to become an ally in conscious living. By integrating these approaches, we reclaim sacred attention, honoring the rhythm, energy, and essence that the device itself cannot possess. In this reclaiming, we awaken not only to the subtle influence around us, but to the enduring power within. As we reach the close of this journey, it becomes clear that the influence of your phone is not merely external. It is a mirror reflecting the vulnerabilities, habits, and desires within. To awaken is not to abandon technology, but to see through the illusions it casts and reclaim the agency of your own mind. Every moment of attention reclaimed is a seed planted in the temple of your consciousness, a restoration of the sacred space that exists beyond notifications and screens. Transformation emerges through this conscious observation. Recognize the subtle shaping, acknowledge the currents that carry you, and choose presence over passivity. The phone is a tool of immense power, but it is only as powerful as your willingness to yield to it. By setting boundaries, practicing intentionality, and nurturing inner life, you reverse the subtle rewiring and begin to orchestrate your own energy, thought, and focus. The temple of the mind is not built in a day, but in each deliberate moment, in every pause before scrolling, and in the choices to engage with awareness rather than distraction. Consider this a call not to fear, but to mastery. To understand is to reclaim, and to reclaim is to awaken. Your attention is the currency of your life, the prism through which experience flows, and the lens through which your soul perceives itself. When you recognize the architecture of influence and navigate with intention, you transform the mundane act of checking a phone into an opportunity for reflection, presence, and sacred engagement. In this way, your life becomes a living testament to conscious choice. You hold the power to allow technology to serve your growth rather than fragment it. The subtle rewiring becomes a catalyst for mastery, a doorway to awareness that teaches, challenges, and ultimately elevates. Step through with care, with focus, and with the understanding that true freedom lies not in the absence of technology, but in the deliberate stewardship of your own attention, energy, and soul. Even after reclaiming your attention, a deeper layer emerges, one that touches the subtle currents of reality itself. Every thought you focus on, every choice of attention, sends ripples into the unseen fabric of your life. Your phone is not just shaping your mind, It interacts with the energy that guides perception and manifestation. Awareness transforms ordinary scrolling into reflection, habitual checking into conscious choice, and distraction into opportunity. The sacred temple of your mind exists within, yet resonates outward. Each moment of clarity signals alignment, reminding you that technology can serve, not dominate, when engaged intentionally. Pause and notice the subtle interplay between attention and the unseen currents of consciousness. When navigated with focus and presence, these moments awaken the latent power of your mind, revealing the unbroken temple within and the hidden dimensions that respond to awareness itself. This is the ultimate invitation to walk in conscious engagement, to hold your mind as sacred, and to see that reclaiming attention is a doorway to awakening and alignment with the unseen forces of life.